Last summer, the exciting days of WWE. Release stars were returning, the birds were chirping, the castle was clashing, and everyone backstage at AEW was having a good old whinge. It was peak WWE, basically, at least for the last few years it's been their peak. Things are a little samier now. There are a few more reasons for fans to moan. Definitely not as bad as things have been, but there's a way up from here under Papa H. Let's talk about it this week. I'm Adam from WrestleTalk, and here are 9 ways Triple H can make WWE exciting again. Number 1, go back in time and have Cody win at WrestleMania. Now, of course, Triple H may be the king of kings and the cerebral assassin, but he does not control space and time yet. So this is, of course, a joke. But really, wouldn't WWE be feeling a whole lot fresher right now if they just let Cody finish his story when the time was right? If he was, I don't know, feuding with Brock Lesnar for the title right now? Actual number 1, actually do the brand split. Speaking of the draft, it's actually impressive just how quickly Triple H immediately made it utterly meaningless this time. It's like he doesn't care about it, or it wasn't his idea or something. They usually give up within a few months with the draft, but this is especially rapid. So far, we've had 6 SmackDown stars competing for the Raw exclusive new world title, and the friggin' Raw and SmackDown women's champions still yet to swap their color-coded titles. Deeper than that, though, nothing in terms of WWE's creative feels much different after the draft. I mean, let's look at some of the current WWE feuds leading to Night of Champions. Bianca Belair once again engaging in her prank-based feud with Asuka from Mania 39, and also the Bloodline are still feuding with Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. I mean, what else is there to do or say here? Let Zayn and Owens move on in peace. I swear to God, if it ends with some kind of Riddle interference at Night of Champions, I'm gonna blow my lid. Number 2, make free agents a big deal. In theory, the concept of free agents should be a winner. Having a few select stars that can't be tied down, it could work. However, aside from Brock Lesnar, can any of the names with this unique status actually be given the description of being a megastar enough to generate the interest of being a free agent should give them? No. Sit down, Von Wagner. You're not that. The problem is, aside from Omos and Lesnar, the star selectors just seem like lower mid-carders to be tossed around between shows and take pins when they could instead be used to upset the apple cart and cause interwoven chaos between stars from both shows. Instead, it seems like most of them are just getting the Heath Slater treatment, becoming the unwanted stepchildren of WWE. Make all those lower mid-card free agents a stable, maybe? Or just do something, though. Number 3, significantly progress the Bloodline story. As mentioned earlier, we are set for yet another match involving the Bloodline and Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. And realistically, what significantly has changed since KO and Sami won the tag titles at WrestleMania that actually require Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn to be there? Sami and KO have done all they can here. There's some solo Sikoa and Jey Uso stuff going on, but it doesn't require Sami and Kevin Owens to be here, repeating story beats and stretching out this once expertly woven tale long past its expiration date. This is a direct cost of Roman's statistic padding reign, and it's painfully obvious now without some actual change. So have the Usos definitively be kicked out the Bloodline, or have them feud with Reigns and Sikoa, or have Jey get a title shot, or let's just get things moving. Number 4, elevate the NXT call-ups. You know what I like to see? Just once, I'd like to see a new NXT call-up come up to the main roster and not feud with The Miz or Baron Corbin or Dolph Ziggler. You spare a thought for poor Cameron Grimes and JD Madonna. But hey, that's only 2 casualties. There's still 14 other NXT names who have made the leap, so please, Trips, please book some meaningful stories for them to leap up into. Otherwise, they're doing little else than filling out spaces in an already stacked roster. While nonsensical call-ups were something we expected under the Vince creative regime, we would have expected more care under NXT's original godfather Triple H. Granted, there is some promise with some call-ups like Pretty Deadly, Grayson Waller, and Indus Sher, but there's also many that already look destined to be lost in the shuffle, like Zion Quinn and Odyssey Jones. Maybe WWE shouldn't have scrapped the 24/7 title after all. That's a joke, by the way. Number 5, push LA Knight. Yes, despite receiving consistently louder pops than stars they seem intent on continually pushing Austin Theory Knight, as of right now, looks set to tag with Rick Boogs. I mean, Boogs is fun and all, but Knight deserves so much more. With just over a month until Money in the Bank, the event has long been reported to be the beginning of LA Knight's mega push. Unfortunately, given Knight being drafted to Roman's show, a world title run may be unlikely, even if he does win the briefcase. Again, maybe we're back in the Vince era after all, ignoring stars who organically get over. I mean, that's something that he's been known to enjoy after all. Number 6, make more female stars. Anyone remember what Rhea Ripley, aka the most over female wrestler on the planet, was doing prior to joining the Judgment Day? No, not me either. I think she was Raw Women's Champion. There was that feud with Charlotte. It was bad. It really makes you think, who could potentially be the next Rhea on the female roster? Quite literally anyone, to be honest. The Raw and SmackDown rosters are stacked with women who are up to very little at present and have very little opportunity to develop any real character. While there are exceptions like Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville, there are a ton of women who have nothing going on right now. Tegan Nox, Xia Li, Piper Niven, Candice LeRae, Nikki Cross, we could go on and on. Aside from the weirdly well-booked tag division and the Becky Lynch and Trish feud, there's been very little care and attention put into developing interesting programs in the women's division. It could be a whole lot easier if the creator would just get their thinking caps on and book some engaging stories, because they definitely have the talent pool just sitting there. Number 7, stop treating pay-per-views like obstacles. Do you ever watch WWE's weekly content feel like those pesky monthly pay-per-views, PLEs, are more of a nuisance than they are something WWE actually look forward to? I mean, as great as Backlash was, that wasn't really due to WWE themselves. I mean, remove the crowd element and the show looks pretty damn undercooked on paper. It's basically a house show, and this has been something that WWE have long been guilty of doing, and given they are insistent on monthly cross-brand pay-per-view, it's likely something that's going to continue. Pay-per-view should always feel like the most important thing going, and stuff such as drafts and such should be reorganized or lessened slightly in order of importance to not take away the pay-per-view shine like the draft did when it came to Backlash. We can't just divide the year up into 4 major pay-per-views. Yeah, every month has to be important for the show to be good. Or do we just go back to having one brand only pay-per-views again? It could be fun, but it's also been really bad in the past. Number 8, stop being so repetitive. Theoretically, WrestleMania should always serve as WWE's season finale of sorts, definitively rubber-stamping feuds and allowing for exciting new opportunities, storylines, and faces beginning on the Raw after Mania. Now, let's not kid ourselves. The first pay-per-view after Mania has often been one of rehashes. Heck, it was called WrestleMania Backlash for a few years there. However, this year, it especially felt as if we've been trapped in sort of pre-Mania purgatory of sorts. WWE's product has that post-Mania creative lethargy, which is understandable post-Mania, but we're not post-Mania anymore, really. Like, it's been nearly 2 months, so stop rehashing successful programs of the past and look to build interesting new angles instead. The SmackDown roster is stacked with new rivals for the Bloodline. The tag division is chock full of teams to challenge Zayn and KO. Bianca Belair could have had anyone but the woman she just beat, Asuka, step up to challenge her. Enough with the holding pattern. And number 9, continue holding shows in exciting locations. Okay, as many faults as I've picked out with WWE, we must give the devil its due and recognize just how rad Backlash was as a show. I mean, instead of being the most meaningless show of the year as it sometimes is and how it kind of looked on paper, this year's Backlash had a thing, something to define it, and that was, of course, the scorching hot Puerto Rico crowd. They alone made the show. Yeah, the action was solid, but the passion oozing from every fan in San Juan turned 6s into 8s, 7s into 9s. They raised the quality of the action due to their unmatched investment. Heck, look no further than WWE's recent European tour, most specifically their show in Paris. They gave Bloody Baron Bloody Corbin a Road Warrior-esque pop for winning his first match of the year. You're telling me that a crowd in Corpus Christi would have done the same? No siree. With Money in the Bank taking place in London and rumours of a potential Australian pay-per-view coming too, WWE are clearly finally recognising the value of the first W in their company name. There's a wide world of passionate wrestling fans out there, and it's about time WWE put a spotlight on them on a regular basis. And that's our list. What do you think would make WWE feel fresh again? Let us know in the comments, and why don't you check out a little bit of last week's list right now. Your reason to tune into both shows? Easy. Nothing is ever easy. The draft only happened a few weeks ago, and it's already been bollocksed. Here's how. I'm Adam from WrestleTalk, and here are 10 ways WWE has already ruined the brand split.